The day one human said, "Hold my beer." 500 star systems declared emergency protocols. The watchers above the spiral arms of the Milky Way, the Galactic Safety Council maintained their eternal vigil. For 12 million years, the Council had prevented cosmic disasters, stopped rogue civilizations, and maintained order across 500 star systems. Their crystalline monitoring station, larger than most moons, hummed with the quiet efficiency of beings who had seen everything the universe could throw at them. Zephyr 9, the Council's primary observer, had witnessed the birth and death of countless species. His translucent form flickered between dimensions as he reviewed the day's reports. Stellar collision avoided in Sector 7. Rogue AI contained in the Andromeda Cluster. Everything was proceeding according to ancient protocols. Then the proximity alarms began screaming. The pale blue dot problem. "What is that noise?" demanded High Counselor Vex Prime, her four arms gesturing wildly at the control panels erupting in red warning lights. Zephyr 9's multiple eyes focused on a single display. It's coming from Sol System, the third planet. Earth? Vex Prime's voice carried the weight of recent concern. The humans again? For the past 50 years, Earth had been a growing source of anxiety for the Council. These strange bipedal creatures had somehow survived on a death world, split atoms before achieving world peace, and reached space using mathematics they invented while arguing about pizza toppings. Every simulation the Council ran about human behavior ended with the same result. Error, logic parameters exceeded. What are they doing now? Vex Prime asked, though she dreaded the answer. Zephyr 9's form solidified as he focused on the readings. One of them appears to be modifying a wormhole generator, using household items. The garage that shook the galaxy in a modest garage in suburban Colorado, Jake Martinez wiped grease from his hands and stared at the alien device he'd been tinkering with for 3 weeks. The wormhole generator had been a gift from the diplomatic corps after humanity's first contact, intended for scientific study only. But Jake, a mechanical engineer with a PhD in making things work better, couldn't resist improvements. "Sarah, hold my beer," he called to his wife, who was gardening outside. "I think I figured out how to make this thing actually useful." Sarah Martinez, a high school physics teacher, looked up from her tomatoes. "Jake, didn't the aliens specifically say not to modify their technology?" "They said not to weaponize it," Jake corrected, pulling on his safety goggles. "This is just optimization. Look, their power coupling is incredibly inefficient. If I bypass the safety limiters and reroute the quantum flux through my microwave transformer, you're what now? Trust me, I've done the math on 17 napkins." 500 star systems hit the panic button the moment Jake's improvised power coupling activated. Every emergency system in the galaxy began screaming. The modified wormhole generator didn't just open a portal, it created a cascading quantum event that resonated across subspace like a cosmic shockwave that on the Council station. Alarms blared as readings went beyond their scales. "Quantum breach in Sol System." Zephyr 9 shouted. "The humans have destabilized local spacetime." "Impossible," Vex Prime snapped. "Our generators have 17 layers of safety protocols. They bypass them all using primitive electromagnetic induction. Across the galaxy, automated defense systems activated. The Rigel defense fleet powered up weapons. The Centauri trade routes shut down. 300 civilizations began emergency evacuations. The usually peaceful Arcturian collective started building bunkers. Within minutes, 500 star systems had declared a state of emergency. The cause? One human in a garage had said, "Hold my beer," and meant it. The unexpected breakthrough while the galaxy panicked. Jake stood in his garage, mesmerized by what he'd created. The wormhole wasn't just stable, it was perfect. The energy readings were off the charts, but in a good way. The portal hummed with controlled power, its edges crackling with contained lightning. "Sarah, you need to see this," he called out, his voice filled with wonder. His wife appeared in the doorway, took one look at the swirling vortex of space-time in her garage, and said, "Jake, I think you broke physics again." "No, I fixed it. Look at those readings." This thing is generating more clean energy than our entire power grid. And watch this. Jake tossed a tennis ball through the portal. It emerged from another wormhole that had opened in their backyard, completely unharmed. You created a stable, two-way wormhole network, Sarah whispered. Do you realize what this means? Free shipping, Jake suggested. The Council's emergency response as panic spread across the galaxy, the Council's fastest ships raced toward Earth. They expected to find a smoking crater, a dimensional tear, or worse, humans attempting to weaponize whatever they'd accidentally created. Instead, they found Jake Martinez giving a presentation to his neighbors about renewable energy while his wife served lemonade. The power output is incredible, Jake explained to Mrs. Henderson from next door. And completely clean. No radiation, no pollution, just pure energy from quantum fluctuations. When the Council's ships arrived, expecting to contain a cosmic disaster, they found a suburban block party where humans were discussing the practical applications of stable wormhole technology. The Reckoning High Counselor Vex Prime materialized in Jake's garage, her four arms crossed in what humans would recognize as extreme annoyance. Do you have any idea what you've done? Jake looked up from his notes. Improved your design by about 400%. You've terrified 500 civilizations. That seems like an overreaction, Sarah interjected, offering the alien leader a glass of lemonade. Jake's always been good with machines. Remember when he fixed the neighbor's spaceship? That was a dimensional scout probe, worth more than your planet's GDP. And now it gets better mileage. Jake added proudly. Vex Prime's translator struggled with the concept of mileage as applied to interdimensional travel. The point is, you've created technology that shouldn't exist. Your species isn't ready for stable wormhole generation. Jake scratched his head. But I already built it, and it works great. Want to see? The new galactic order, after hours of discussion, 3 separate council investigations, and one very awkward diplomatic incident involving Jake's attempt to fix the council's translator, a new protocol was established. Humans would be granted provisional membership in the galactic community with one condition. Jake Martinez would head a new department of impossible engineering, tasked with fixing technologies that other species considered perfect. Within a year, Jake had improved warp drive efficiency by 200%, solved the Andromedan energy crisis using car batteries, and accidentally invented a new form of mathematics while trying to calculate his taxes. The galaxy learned to live with a simple truth. When humans said, "Hold my beer," miraculous and terrifying things happened in equal measure. The lesson learned in the end, the Council realized something profound about humanity. They weren't dangerous because they were violent or reckless. They were dangerous because they saw problems where others saw impossibilities, and they solved them with spare parts and determination. S. Zephyr 9 noted in his final report, humans don't break the laws of physics. They just find the loopholes and exploit them with frightening efficiency. And in a garage in Colorado, Jake Martinez continued tinkering with the universe, one impossible invention at a time. Because sometimes the best way to change the galaxy is to hand someone a beer and say, "I bet you can't make that work better." The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath, waiting to see what humanity would fix next.